Howdy doody. Welcome back to the ranch. My name is Michael. If it's the first time you're joining us, welcome. If it isn't, thank you for being here. Look, the weather's been terrible. Rainy and humid. It's August, late August, and I've been knee deep in this video, but recently I've just been needing something else to work on, and with all the rain and humidity, what better way to lift your spirits than, you know, working on a motorcycle. So I'm gonna get back on this project today and then circle back around to that another time. If you're not familiar with this 91 Softail, go ahead and click the link up here in the corner. Catch up.
What you ride there, bro? Super Glide, Hydro Glide, Street Glide, Wide Glide, Dual Glide, Electric Glide, Tour Glide, Low Glide, Tri Glide. Oh.
This is a 91 Harley Davidson Softail with a Springer front end that came stock with the vehicle. She's pretty. It's come a long way though. It used to be purple. And frame was snapped in half. I didn't see it run when I bought it. It's running now. Not well, but it is running. There are things to be done. Basically what I'm saying. I got a new boot for the carburetor because that's fallen off. So need to put that on there. But mainly and most importantly, I haven't finished the brakes yet. So I haven't been able to actually take it for a test run, even though it is running. So we're going to work on that. I got to get the brakes tuned in and working, and got to get the carburetor squared away. That way I can take it for its maiden voyage. So that's the goal for the day. Hopefully I don't need parts, because I really don't have time, nor do I want to go on a parts run. So cross your fingers and all your toes for me that I can finish this today so I can get on the road and go for a ride. Okay, so first things first, I'm the realist. First things first, tried scooting away with a little bolt down here on the bottom of my primary cover, because the other one that I had, the drain bolt, was all stripped out and terrible looking. It didn't work. Needless to say, I got a, puddle in my garage. So got a new drain bolt direct from Colony. This order could have been tax-free with better parts and combo shipping prices. That's a little sus.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Tax-free, huh? Just gotta commit a little bit of tax fraud, that's all. Anyway, I gotta get this drained out so I could swap these out real quick. That's really been bugging me, so I'm gonna get that out of the way. Kind of got the motorcycle jacked up, tilted that way, so most of the fluid's gonna go that way. So remind me before I fill it back up to sit it back down. Didn't spill a drop. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. I got a, why did I go through all that trouble when I could have just ordered a new part? Maybe I was in a pinch. I got a gasketed washer. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right. That's pretty much drained. New bolt. See, it's got a little magnet on the end. Tell you if you're stripping a bunch of gears and such. This shouldn't need any sort of gasket or thread sealant, I should say. I wonder if I kind of messed up the threads in here. Really doesn't feel like it wants to go in. Michael, what did you do? Because that can't be all of it. There's no way. Maybe it is. That was threaded up in there pretty far. Yeah, okay. Allen keys are so stupid. I used to have a set of Allen sockets, and I need to find them because this is just plain annoying. So this is your primary chain, but in this model's case, it's more of a belt. In this cover, there's a belt that spins. That's your series of clutches. That's what makes you go. This is the original problem with the bike. That belt in there kept falling off, and it's because my frame down here was cracked in 2 spots. And my theory is, guy would hit a bump, and you know, this all needs to be perfectly aligned with the bike, or else the belt will fall off. So that was obviously the issue. I'm just hoping that I got it all put back together correctly where it won't happen again. But you see, I can't do that without taking it for a test drive. So that's the point of me doing all this today. I want to see if this all works. I also just want to ride my bike. You know, I've had this thing for like, shoot, 4 years now, 5 years. I want to get it on the road. Thank you for reminding me. We got to lower this thing down a bit so it's level. Basically, you want to fill your fluid down to just over the bottom of the clutches. Okay. This is the real stuff, you know, Harley Davidson brand.
I see you at Sturgis.
Came with the bike, so normally I don't really care that much to buy the brand name, but you know Harley guys, man, they eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff, so they're not putting any other branded fluid in their bikes typically. Looks like I'm a little low. I'm gonna grab another one. I bought this one. Now I'm pretty sure it just needs to be to the bottom of the clutch. I'm gonna verify that. Fill to the bottom of the clutch diaphragm spring with the vehicle upright and level. Approximately 30 to 36 ounces. Thank you, book. And that's right where I'm at. I might just... What did I do with my... Wow. Hello. Might just throw a little more in there, right to the bottom of it. Okay, throw this cover back on and I'm good to go. Also, one thing you'll come to find out about me and my taste is I hate chrome. I just can't do it. I don't like chrome at all. So this used to be chrome, but I sanded it down to like a nickel finish, and I really like how that turned out. I think it's cool. Do not like chrome. All right, let's move on to carburetor. It should just be a couple gaskets that I need to put on, so hopefully that works. I find it kind of odd that from what I know about these carbs is there's really nothing else holding it in place other than this like O-ring gasket basically. But then again, I don't know a whole lot about Harley Davidsons in general. I'm just going off of the little research I've done. So let's jump over to that side. This is the gasket I'm talking about. See, it's all tore up. So I got a new one. Hopefully it holds it in there a little bit better, because it was, you know, I'd rev it up a little bit. It was slipping out pretty good. What I don't know is, oh, these are for the, like the manifold. That's always been in there pretty snug, so I'm just gonna save those, see how it runs without it. And if they are good, it looks like you damage them taking them out regardless. So Yeah, it just seems like there should be like a clamp of some sort there. Like that's just gonna slowly vibrate out. I don't get it. Some sort of bracketry or something. I don't understand. But there's also like nothing on the carburetor that hints towards a bracket of any sort.
You sure about that?
That's supposed to hold this in. So, not sure about all that. I guess just push it in nice and snug and hope for the best. Seems silly. We interrupt your show with our wildly regular segment, Who's That Dummy? Well, you see, I was editing last night, and I noticed these two little bolts here. 1, 2. And I guess all it takes sometimes is just to step away for a bit and look. Because wouldn't you know it, I dug around in my parts bin and found the bracket that I didn't think existed. This goes here and bolts on from the outside. Snugs it up. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so moving on to brakes. This is the most, I'm not going to say daunting task, but I do still have some unknowns here. If you didn't watch the original video on this bike, I briefly touched on the fact that I kind of customized the handlebars to a point where I don't have a master cylinder up here for the fronts. I hid it underneath the gas tank. So in order to get to that, I have to drain the fuel and remove the tank, and from there I should be able to bleed the front brakes. However, I still need to finish up my cable setup, which I mounted down here, but I haven't finished cutting the cable to size and setting it into the master. So we'll start by draining fuel out of here and getting the gas tank off, and then tackle the next task from there. Looks clean to me. We'll let that drain. Okay, so here's how this system is planned to work, we'll say. I have a hard cable up to the brake lever that runs down here, and it bolts into the frame here, right here. That is then supposed to connect to my master cylinder here that I have bolted in, and it's a pull style, so it's going to pull in, and you see that piston up there right here, that's going to push into the master cylinder and flow down to the caliper here. So my only worry is I don't have a whole lot of travel up there with that brake lever, so I got to be pretty precise here. But if I get this little piece here into my master cylinder and that all works out, then I can adjust here and tighten up my cable here. So the biggest key for me, and why I've been kind of putting this off, is getting that cable seated into that master cylinder just seems like it's going to be a task. So nothing to it but to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this cable kind of where I think it's supposed to be, and shoot for that. I'll slide this piece up here, maybe take the master cylinder off and see if I can't fish everything through, because it's just a tight squeeze everywhere. So let's get to work. So, the other thing, this wire's already kind of cobbled up here, and that's like right where I need it to be not cobbled up. But it's got to go there. This has got to fish in through here. But it's a real tight squeeze through here. So I'm not really sure if I can like take this out and put this in first and then fish the wire through. Maybe drill a little hole in this slot to fish the wire through it. That might be my best bet. I think I might try that. Because I don't think there's any way I'm going to, like, the way that you're supposed to do it on here, whatever the stock application was, you kind of bent it around and looped it through there and then pulled through, if that makes sense. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that here. So I'm thinking throw a piece of tape on here, snip her down the middle with a little wire wheel, and feed it through that way. I believe before I cut this, it'll help to tape up the end to make sure it doesn't really spread apart. At least that's my hope anyway. Here's to hoping. I'm gonna mark the master kind of where I think I can drill through, and I kind of put it lower than I have to so it can slip up into the slot. But a good place where I can drill a hole where I can fish the wire through. I hope this works, because if I screw it up, there's really no turning back. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me how I could have done this better. But this is my best go at custom work. I don't really have an eye for custom things like vision. That's great. And whatnot. Just drop my nut down there. Got her. Scoot your little booty in there. I'm sorry, I got it, but it was a struggle and I didn't get it on camera. But she's in. Hopefully I can keep it that way. This is just such a tedious job, and I don't like tedious. I just don't. I mean, who enjoys tedious? This is stupid. Is it just me? I mean, I guess it's rewarding. It's like a reward.
It's like a reward.
But it's no fun while you're doing it.
That's what she said.
Kind of makes you hate the process. It's like a reward. I'm just gonna leave that long for now. All right, tell me if we've got movement there. Yeah, that should be enough. Kind of concerned about the return, or lack thereof. But I can always deal with that later. I'm just trying to get brakes here. I guess the only thing left to do is throw some brake fluid in there and see if we can bleed the brakes. All right, got my cap off up here. Little baby bleeders up here. 2 pistons, 2 bleeders. Is that normal? I know this is an aftermarket caliper down here because it's chrome. By the way, the only chrome I don't mind on this bike is the Springer front end. I think the chrome on that is an exception because it draws attention to this and only this. And I think this is pretty bad to the bone, if you will. So I do enjoy the chrome there. But anyway, I'll fill up my little baby reservoir up here. Once I open this, of course. Stupid. And loosen these up, and I guess start pumping away until I find some fluid down here. If you don't have one of these, get one. You're not missing much here. I'm just keeping this little reservoir here full. And cracking this bleeder open, and it's coming down here into here. That's it. I'm gonna keep going. I'd like to get this bled tonight. It takes a little bit longer because the master cylinders are dry, both of them. So I'll keep pumping on this and update you as I go. Update. It's not going well. So far what I've figured out is I believe I don't have enough throw in this whole setup, the lever and everything. I don't think it's enough, like, back and forth, you know, to get the calipers to get the brake pads to grab and then release. It's bleeding fine, so we'll give it a shot how it is and just see if there's any break at all. But I shifted gears to the rears, and thankfully I have a spare master cylinder here. However, if you take a look at these two, they're a little bit different from one another. This is the one that I believe is good. I just poured a little fluid down here and pumped on it, and it was throwing fluid. This one, I can't get to pump at all. It's not pushing out any fluid here, or any pressure at all, so I think whatever seals are in here aren't good anymore. The only issue now is my reservoir runs up to the frame and comes down this way, and this little nipple here is facing that way, so I might need to cut a longer piece of hose and kind of loop it into this one. We'll make it work, but I think I gotta make this master cylinder work and throw this one in the garbage. So I'll get working on that, and if I can get the rears to work, I'll leave the fronts how they are right now and come back to them later, test them out, see how they go. So anyway, back to work. I'll let you know. Alright, well, I got no front brakes, so I got to figure out a different solution for that, which is a bummer because I've spent so much time trying to set that whole application up, and I don't think it's going to work. But in other news, I do have rear brakes, mainly because they're a lot more stock than the front setup. So I'm going to throw the tank back on and fire up and take it for a spin, mainly because I want to. Not ideal not having front brakes, but at least I got brakes. So I'm not gonna run it like this every day. I just wanna take it for a cruise and see if everything else is functioning correct. So we'll do that, throw the gas tank back on, fill her back up, and see if she fires up. A pizza? Oh, butterfly. Thanks, honey. Ah, that's pretty. Pretty. A butterfly. I'm gonna eat my pizza and fill this up with gas. It should be good to go from there. All right, so here's what I found out, and it's not fantastic news. Had a couple bugs to iron out, we'll say. First and foremost, I still have to mount this. This is like a vacuum switch that controls some sort of vacuum wizardry up here. This kind of bolts into the engine mount up top, but right now I've got some JB Weld type epoxy drying in there. I was missing a wire, so I soldered in this ground wire and grounded that in temporarily, and she runs a lot better. And then I just kind of sealed those up to avoid any vacuum leaks. Runs a lot better now. I had to adjust the idle mixture screw a bit, and happy with where it's at for now. However, it's not running for extended periods of time because I'm not charging. So on a motorcycle, it's different than a car. Cars have alternators. Motorcycles have stators. Basically, there's like an alternator type of wizardry that happens in here and pumps out through this cable down to this little block that's a regulator, and that's what sends charge to your battery. But like I said, I'm not charging. I took out my multimeter, ran a couple tests that the book was suggesting, and right now I think it's the regulator that is bad. But with it running, I don't have any juice charging, so I can only run it for a short amount of time. So plan is, for now, start it up and get it warmed up with a charger on it, and then hopefully we can just take it for a little down and back down the block and call it a win for now. Like I said, I only got rear brakes anyway, so I don't want to be catting this all around the town regardless. So start this thing up, let it warm up a little bit, and hopefully we can take it for a cruise. I'll let it warm up a little bit, see if we can get down the street. I haven't moved it yet at all, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. If it doesn't, hey, we tried. Well, unfortunately, that's as far as I got right there. Definitely having carb issues. I already went through this carburetor once before, but that was like 3 years ago. I could have put something in incorrectly. Might be a jet that's messed up, or maybe it just somehow got a little bit dirty with, you know, residue floating around. Who knows? But definitely got a carb issue. It's idling a lot better now that I fixed that vacuum switch. Yeah, you give it any throttle, man, it putters and pops and dies. So big bummer for me. I really wanted to at least putter it down the street, but you win some, you lose some. Unfortunately, I need a big win here soon, because this is kind of how all my projects are going here recently. Is I get a little taste of victory, and then something slaps me in the face. But you know, that's how she goes. So unfortunately, that's all the time I got this weekend. So we're gonna have to pick this one up on another day. I'm gonna order a new regulator there and see if that fixes my charging issue. Fingers crossed. And then we'll tear that carb open, see if we need new jets or if it's just gummed up or something. But we'll figure it out, take it down the road another day. So with that, if you're subscribed to the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and subscribe. A lot of projects in the works, and we will be releasing videos on all of them here in the near future. Like the video, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff really helps me out where I'm going. But with that, even though sometimes it doesn't go the way you planned, don't be afraid to grab that wrench, get after it. See you next time.